Okay, I want to add a little bit more of a mist in this area right here. So what I'm going to do is just take this 1-inch brush and I'm going to tap it. Get a little bit of this white paint, just a little bit. You see, just a little bit, and I'm going to just tap it. I'll just tap it in there, just like that. Just keep tapping it, and tapping it, and tapping it, very lightly, so you can get that mist up in there some more. A little bit more of a mist. All the way across. Get a little bit more. Just want to mist it in some more. I want it a little mistier. And you'll see why in just a minute when we go ahead and we'll add some more land to it. I'm going to get a little bit more mist in there. Tap it in. A little bit of white will give it that little look, a misty look. Tap it in. Let it blend in. Very lightly. Go across. And you get more mist. And that's all we needed. A little bit more of a misty look. So, you can clean that brush or just wipe off the excess paint. We'll use it some more. So, we're going to take the fan brush. I'll probably use a number 6 fan brush. And we're going to use some, we need some dark area first. So we'll use the same brown. I'm going to scrape that up. Get some more of that brown right there. Put a little more black in there, a little more Van Dyke brown, burnt sienna, maybe a little bit of crimson. Mix it all up. We're going to need a pretty good puddle of that paint, so that's why I'm mixing more of it. We already had the right color, I just needed to mix more. But we want it to be fairly dark and have some, but be in the brownish tint of it. Wipe the knife off. And before we start that, we're going to do one more thing. What I want to do is, I'm going to take a little bit of this white, right here, a little bit of this brown, mix it in, but marbled look, a little bit of a marbled look. We're going to start, we're going to come in about right here. I'm going to scratch in a little bit of a river. A little bit of a river. Just scratch it in. Scratch it in, just like that. Brownish looking river here. Nice and flat. Maybe a little bit more brown in it. You can add that right into it. Some water right in there. White. And come all the way over here to the edge. Just like that. All the way across the canvas. Way down. You don't have to be too concerned about it. We're just making it have the illusion of some water here. It's a bit darker, so run it across. We're going to cover up some of that anyway, so you don't have to worry about too much of that. Maybe a little bit more of a brown towards the end here. Nothing nothing to worry about, just put it in. Okay. I want that river coming out right up the top there. Right over here. Really important for it to be right in this area. Just go along until you get it where you want it. I'm going to cover that up some more right there. And you'll see why in just a minute. We won't need all that, but we're going to cover it some anyway. Right in that area. Back across. There we go. And we'll probably add a little bit more white in there by itself, just to give us a little ripples. Just like that. Like that. Okay, we'll touch up some more if we need to as we go. Okay, so now we'll take that fan brush, we'll get some satin green, put it over here, put a little bit of this Indian yellow in it. We'll just mix that up for the time being. And just a tiny bit of yellow, lighten it up a little bit. Have a marble effect is fine. And first thing we'll do is we'll lay us in some of this dark color right here. And we're going to start by coming in from about right here. And we'll come down right here. And we're going to see, we're going to cover most of this up. That's why I wasn't really that worried about it. We're going to come all the way down, all the way across, right about to there. We'll just tap that in. Tap that brown right in there. Got lots of it to tap down here, that's for sure. Lots of it. Tap it right in. Have some white spots and dark spots, and that's all fine. We're going to be covering a lot of that with all the grasses and stuff like that. So just tap it in there good. Magic white will do its little thing. As you can see, it's actually almost a little bit muddy here, almost, because I probably should have checked the magic white a little bit more before I started painting on it, but I just checked a couple of spots. Should have checked it a little bit more. That will make it work. Alright. Got all them white spots covered up. Some of that darker color in there on the top. working a little bit more. We want it to be a little bit darker because it's closer to us. So let's make it a bit darker. Add a little black to it if you wanted to, darken it up even more. Good practice for the tapping. Tap and tap and tap and practice tapping it. And seeing all the different shapes and stuff that the fan brush uses, can do and make. Fan brush, you can do a whole painting with a fan brush. No problem. There we go. Some more darker color. Tap it in here. Just like that. Make sure you're really careful about getting the edges of your painting, because there's nothing worse than doing a painting that's comes out fantastic, and then when you go to frame it, you've got some white spots from your canvas. So make sure you get them corners and the edges all really done really well. Get some paint on them, whatever color you're using, so you can make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay. Alrighty, so I darkened it up a little bit. Had a little bit of an intermission here that you couldn't see, but I needed to darken. I wanted to darken this edge up a little bit up here. You may have already had it dark enough, but I wanted to get a little bit darker. And I also darkened up the grassy area right here. So now what we're going to do is we'll get a little bit of thinner, and we're going to mix it in that sap green, that mixture we did for the grass, sap green, Indian yellow, and that little bit of a lemon yellow is what I was using. So let's go ahead and we'll add some grass in here. Just tap it in. And all the way down. And I would just kind of go up a little bit on the top so you can show up some grassy areas there, like that. Got my paint a little bit wetter than I needed it to be. Thicken it up a little bit. There we go. Let's see that grass come up. Load that brush up really good. I'm not loading it quite enough, but let's load it up some more. Get some grass coming up around in here. Like that. A bit wet still. I think I got a little bit too much of that magic white there, like I said earlier. So you kind of have to work it in. Try to use some thicker paints. Don't keep tapping in the same spot. Make sure you keep on moving that brush. Move it along, move it along. Some thicker paint up in here. Probably wouldn't hurt. Leave some of them dark areas in there. That's just kind of a natural thing, having them dark areas. You want them dark areas to show through. Something like that. You don't have to get every single area there is. Just get the indication of some grass here and there, mainly. Just like that. And then use the same brush, grab some more of that Indian yellow, add it in with your blue, your sap green. More yellow, make it a lighter color. Maybe add some titanium white. Mix it up real good. And you can add some highlights into your grass, just like that. Okay. Follow the lay of that land, kind of going up the hill here. Tap it out. Let me know in the comments if anybody's having problems hearing me or anything, or have any suggestions on paintings they'd like to see. I'm trying to keep them as basic as possible right now. As we go along, you'll find I'll start doing a lot harder paintings. With a lot more detail. Okay. Go. Tap out a little bit of that darker green. That was a little bit darker than I really wanted. A little bit too dark. There we go. Okay, about there. Okay, let's wash out our brush. Couple more steps there. Wash your brush. Okay. Get a good dry. Yeah, we're going to mix up some more paint. We got some more of this black and brown. More of that brown, some burnt sienna, maybe a little bit more crimson. Use up some of that paint that we have. Mix it with a little mud pile. Just like that. Okay, wipe the knife off. Now, let's go ahead and grab the smaller fan brush, which I believe this is a number 3, and we're going to load that thing right up really good. And let's take a look. Yeah, right here. Let's try it right here. And we'll do some little pine trees. Load it up again. Let's give him a little friend over here. And maybe we'll have another one right about here. That chiseled edge right there.